All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We are the true Hebrew Israelites, consisting of Judah, which are the Negroes, Benjamins, which are the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, the West Indians, Levi, which are the Haitians, Reuben, Seminole Indians and Australians, Issachar, which are the Mexicans, Naphtali, Hawaiians, Samoans and Pacific Islanders, Manasseh, which are the Cubans, Zebulon, which are the Colombians, Simeon, the Dominicans, Asher, the Brazilians, Argentinians and Venezuelans, Ephraim, which are the Puerto Ricans, and Gad, which are the Native American Indians. The true Hebrews are not in the no lost tribes. They are actually here and out today. They're not. They say they're the lost tribes of Israel, but that's because they're lost in their mind. They're not lost in their in physicality. They're not in the desert. They're not hiding out in the mountain. They're not. Some of the families that are in Israel, they're just lost because they don't know who they are. We've been told that we're not the people for so long. We've been kept from our religions. Pursuant to Psalms 83, the nations have been confederate against us, and we are here today to prophesy on the downfall of Babylon the Great, the whore of Babylon, which is America, but also the downfall of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. But this isn't a colorist thing. This isn't about people who are white and black, because obviously it's a bloodline thing, and there are people, so-called tares, that look like Israelites, that may have darker hued skin, that are not Israelites. They're from the line of Esau, and vice versa. There may be people who are so-called Caucasians who are from the line of Israel. So we're not here talking about color. We're talking about bloodlines. And as we can see, the prophecies are coming to pass. We're out here to do the work and to say, that in the last days that these words will be said on the highways and byways. And I'm on a major highway today. I was actually supposed to be going up to North London to meet with some brothers up there, but the Lord he put a bunch of things in my way, basically. So I think I will connect with you brothers up in Archway. I did see the post, and I bowed down to the elders up there who've kindly let me know what the location is, because at the end of the day, it's a risky thing. It's a risky thing. You don't know who's who. You don't know who. That there are agents and there are spies and all that sort of stuff. So we are here. We have to be careful with it. But I do appreciate that you letting me know. So I will make it up next time. But I think at the moment, and it kind of makes sense. The Lord wants me to be out here because they ain't no GMS camps now where I am. I'm in southwest London near Putney, and very Richmond, Richmond sides, and they just know that the camps are out here. So I think that might be why the Lord put so many obstacles in my way. I kind of got to the train station, and the train was delayed, and then they stopped the trains, and then I realised that I dropped my jacket, because I'd taken a line bike down here. I dropped my jacket in the road and I had to come back. So I thought, at that point, you know what, let me just do my lesson out here. But I will make it up to see you guys in other camp in North London, because it's a lonely road, and that's one of the things. They've often, some of the elders in GMS, they've often said about what have they said about? They've said about that lone wolf spirit. We're not in that lone wolf spirit. We're not trying to do things by ourselves out here. But at the same time, we're not part of any organisation. The only thing that should unite us and does unite us is the word. Take a quick drink. So, the downfall of Esau Edom is evident. It's evident. It says in Matthew 24. I'm going to get that in a second, but you should know, you should measure the time. Well, in I think in 2nd Ezra it says measure the time diligently, but also in Matthew 24 it says you will know the time of the end when there are uprisings of the people. You know, this is how we can know, because no man knoweth. So we're told to be watchers. We're told to be sentinels. We're told to be ever vigilant, watching the time. You know, marking the time diligently, making sure that we're always. And by marking the time, it doesn't mean watching a clock that's on the wall. They're talking about marking the time against the scriptures, understanding at what point in the prophecies we are. It says in the scriptures that we're supposed to be occupied in prophecy. So we're staying occupied in prophecy. We're watching what's happening. As it happens, and we can see that there's people uprising. There's lots of people out there. They're complaining about the economy. They're complaining about the draconian measures that's pursuant to, I think, Revelation 17 or 18. The draconian measures that are put in by Donald Trump that will actually ultimately affect the world and bring in and usher in the Karagma. So, what is there to say? Let's get that Matthew 24. I think the Lord want me to start my camp out here, but my J's, bro. But I will be, Lord willing, I will be up. You know, they say if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, but I will make it up to North London. Let's see. Matthew 24 I'm looking for. Let's just read that whole thing. So we can measure the time, because why not? Why not measure the time now? For nation shall rise against nation. Now, are we seeing that? Let's measure this time together. Are we seeing nation rising against nation? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're seeing Russia rise against Ukraine. We're seeing China rise against Taiwan. We're seeing China rise against the UK. We've seen America rise against China, rise against the US. And we've seen America rise against pretty much everybody by putting tariffs out. So nation are rising against nation. And that's another one that's just come into my head. Let the weak say I'm strong. But let's carry on. Take no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. Now, why didn't he say Jesus or whatever? Because here, the term Christ means anointed. So he basically said, I'm anointed. They're saying, many shall come saying, not just saying I'm actually Yahweh Shai or I'm Jesus. No, many shall come saying, I'm anointed, I'm ordained, I am the leader, I have the truth. So there's going to be many false prophets, in other words, and many people saying, I am the chosen one. Let's put it that way. You know, like Bishop Nate, for example, coming out saying that I am the, coming in on the white horse, behold a pale horse. What happened? What was the pale horse? His name was it Death or whatever? What was on the pale horse? I can't remember. Anyway, and shall deceive many, and many people are deceived. Many people were told to take their juicy juice. Many be taking those jump shots. You know, many will be taking the Karagma. Many will be told to take the Karagma. Many will be told, that says the name of the Lord is a strong tower, right? The righteous run into it and are saved. Many shall be deceived. Many shall be calling on the Lord, Lord. But he will not answer them, because for a start, they'll be calling the wrong name. You know, it's asked, and this is one of the things that came up in the lesson today, this morning. It was saying we should worship him in spirit and in truth. Yeah, it's in scriptures, we're supposed to worship in spirit and truth. Some Jehovah's Witnesses came to an elder's house today and was trying to tell him, trying to talk to him about Jesus. It just reminded me of that I think it was Ice Cube. You chose the wrong nigga to fuck with. Excuse my language. They came to the wrong house today, man. Yeah, so many shall be deceived. Let's carry on measuring the time. Let's see what time it is, right? This is how we measure the time. We don't measure the time with clocks. You know, and I was just thinking today, actually. Oh man, I just thinking today that you know, that we measure the time. Because how do we measure the time? Well, we were given in Genesis 3, I think it is, maybe 2, given that we were told that the moon and the sun will be our ordinance, and the sun will obviously measures the day, and when the day comes, and the moon measures the evening, the month. The moon measures the month, and it measures it in quarters. How many? Actually, there's the full moon, the half moon, 2 half moons, and the new moon, right? So it measures it in quarters. It splits the month out into quarters. You know, perfectly. And you know, all this thing like calculating and leap year and adding the seconds and British summertime is all bullshit. It's all because Esau still has not got a clock as reliable and as accurate as the moon. That's why you have to have leap years and leap seconds and switching this and switching that, because they can't measure the time. So we measure the time in 2 ways. We measure the time with the sun and the moon, but we also measure the time where we are in prophecy with the scriptures. And I say all this to say that people who are talk about, what Sabbath is Saturday, what is it, Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown? How are you going to be you? Why do you use sun? Why do you use sun to denote the day, but not the moon to denote the month? You know, it's like a mixed. You know, and it's like a mixed mind and a stable mind. What's it that, you know? What is it? What is an unstable in all these ways? Those who change, given to change, but not with those given to change. They're unstable in all these ways. So why would you use the sun to measure the day, but not the moon to measure the month? Don't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So we're told to measure the time diligently. Let's see where else we are. If we're looking at the times, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places." So we're looking over the planet. We're seeing earthquakes, we're seeing floods, we're seeing tornadoes, we're seeing pestilences. Obviously, the big one being the sea ragamuffin. I don't know why he calls it. I don't know why Apostle Tara called it the sea ragamuffin, but the sea ragamuffin. You know, we're seeing that. We're seeing all these things. So now we're looking at the time. We'll say, okay, we're around here, and I'm going to try and create an infographic. You know, maybe using one of these AIs to say, we are here. You are here. And that's how you measure the time. We're talking about prophecies, where we have to measure the time where we are in the prophecy. And the birth pangs are coming thick and fast, bro. It says, you know, there's a saying that a lot of people like to quote, and I like it as well. It says, there are years when nothing happens, and there are weeks where years happen. Right now, we've just seen the whole global economy switch, you know, to a point where the weak are saying that let the weak say I'm strong. The Chinese are saying, right, you don't want to, oh my God, another scripture's coming for me. The Spirit's heavy on me today. I can't even speak. The scripture's saying, well, what I just got is that, you know, it says in the scriptures where you shall, and I try and find it because I can't remember it verbatim, but it says, when you shall cease to deal treacherously with other nations, the other nations will begin to deal treacherously with you, and they will take you for a spoil. They will rob you. The thieves won't even leave you a grape on the branch. You know, you will be utterly spoiled, meaning you will be utterly rinsed, meaning you will be utterly taken apart and plundered, I think is the best word for spoiled, that we use today. And that's another thing I want to talk about in a minute. But and what's happened recently is that Trump decided that he wasn't going to deal treacherously with the nations, and he stopped the tariffs. He put a pause on it. But what did China do? China said, no, we ain't backing out of this fight now. We want that smoke plus chips. You know, so China have increased the tariffs. So this is again another point in prophecy where it says, where you shall cease to deal treacherously with other nations, they will start to deal treacherously with you. And I have to try and find that scripture because I know that I kind of butchered it a bit. But this is how we measure the time, you know. And we're also told that that we can also measure the time because it's like the birth pangs. You know, when I don't know if any of you brothers had children. I'm sure some of you have, and you've been around when the woman's going through labour, travail, as it's often talks about in Jeremiah. Travail meaning labour. If you know a bit of French, you know that the French word for labour is travailler, or for work. You know, and also we know that labour means work as well. So we know that at the time when we get to the point where we are in late, when the scriptures and the prophecies start to come thick and fast, it's a bit like the contractions of a woman. It's like the contractions of a woman. You know, when they're 5 minutes apart and they're very strong, you know that that baby is going to be born, right? And this baby is this new nation that we're talking about the birth pangs of Israel. You know, she's going to start to get squeezed. She's going to start to get those contractions, these pains, these pestilences that we're talked about in Matthew 24 and in Revelations as well. They're going to start to come thick and fast. And then when they start to come thick and fast, that's when we know that we're at the point where the new nation's going to come together. We're at the point where Israel, the new nation of Israel, will be reborn and brought back out again. You know, when the pestilences, the famines, and all of these things are coming at very, very high frequency, and they're coming harder and stronger. Right now, we just had one, and I expect there to be a brief respite. But the second one's going to come, and it's not going to be softer. That's the thing. It's not going to be softer. It's going to be harder and just as hard. It's going to be harder or just as hard, and in increased frequency, so that we can tell. You know, basically, at this point, put it this way. If usually when the woman's goes into labour, you kind of be chilling. She's getting these contractions and stuff, and they tell you at a certain point it's time to go to the hospital, right? They say, okay, when the contractions are 5 minutes apart, take her down to the hospital. And you might be there for a good 12 hours before the contractions are 5 minutes apart. What I'm trying to tell you here today is, if we map the situation on the planet to a woman giving birth, you will be saying to her, honey, it's time we go to the hospital. That's how close we are. You know, it's not a small thing that's going on here. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Actually, I think let's wrap it up. And I said to not make a deal, because I don't really told not to swear on anything. But I said to the Lord, if you help me find my jacket, wherever my jacket dropped, I'll stand up there and do a lesson. And that's what I did. So all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Mahakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. You brought us out of niggerdom through the Holy Spirit, of course. You suffered them 10 long years, just because I used to walk past them. I'll be real, I used to walk past them and I didn't even really used to hear what they were saying, until the Lord and the Spirit gracefully brought me in to this truth. So double honors to all you guys, who stuck it out and are still sticking it out. I mean, like, oh my God. Triple honors to the elders and apostles, man, because seriously, man, damn, had they not, where would we be? Anyway, peace and blessings to the Akim and Akwas and all you people following at home. We're looking forward to the downfall of Babylon. Come Mashallah and Abad Babur. Shalom.